Welcome back to the Box to Box podcast.
This is episode 12, and today we will be talking about the Euro quarterfinals. There were some bangers and some snooze fests.
Then we're going to go over Copa America. It is Canada versus Argentina in the semifinal, and Brazil are on their way home.
We'll also talk about some transfers and some rumors, as well as your comments.
All this on the Box to Box podcast.
You ain't going home,
Your
bro.
Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I'm sorry. If
What
we
is
don't
going
compete
on?
with City, this is a failure of a season. You've heard
Okay,
it here
so
first.
I can already tell you. I'll tell you in advance. You failed.
I'm going to take a central midfielder, Federico Valverde.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's
He has
crazy.
been the worst midfielder for Real Madrid this season.
That's
by
like saying.
far.
That's like saying Neymar was the worst player in MSN.
We are back at the podcast studio. It is me and Firms on this side of the sofa, but we do have a guest, and he is on the other side of the world at the Euros. It is Varvar. Varvar, how are you doing in Germany?
I'm doing exceptional. The vibes here are immaculate. Now, I'm here to record something. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is so far. And honestly, the video is coming out pretty good so far, so I don't want to jinx it.
It's good to hear. I mean, it's good to have one of us at least at the Euros. It's the best we could have done. I mean, having Varvar there is always a blast, I'm sure, with the German fans.
I'm a little nervous for Varvar because everyone knows about that Dortmund hate that he was given at the end of the season, and now he's in uncharted territory. So, Varvar, have you gotten any hate?
I got someone to come up. So I went to a fan zone event, which is basically, it was in Berlin, and it was for the Spain-Germany game. And basically, they took the entire city center of Berlin and turned it into a big watch party. And some guy came up to me. He's like, first of all, I knew that he kind of recognized me because him and I think it was his brother, were just staring at me like for 5 minutes straight. So I'm like, okay, they recognize me. And then after that, they came up to me and was like, you are famous, no? And his English wasn't perfect. So obviously, like, he got his point across that, oh, I recognize this guy from YouTube. I'm like, yeah. And then I showed him the channel, and he's like, oh, yes, I watch all your videos and stuff. So it was really fun meeting some of you guys in person. But I didn't get any hate for the Dortmund fans. Where are you at? I'm walking through your hood, no issue.
I guess he's not really in the main city though. He's
not at
Berlin,
Dortmund.
Munich.
He's not in Dortmund right now, so he's not getting that hate.
They hate.
But
I'm not scared of walking through Dortmund. I could walk through Dortmund anytime I want.
Yeah, pull up then.
That's crazy. That's a crazy accusation to say, Varvar, before you even leave. You're kind of asking for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Especially,
They don't scare me.
Especially now with German knocked out, I feel like the German fans are hiding.
Yeah, Varvar, how were the German fans when unfortunately Germany got eliminated from the tournament?
It was actually insane to see the passion like up close, and it was funny. It was funny because when Spain scored, you could see instantly like everyone's emotions just dropped. And there's me in a Kylian Mbappe French jersey just waiting for the other game, the later game. But the vibes were actually insane. I actually ended up wanting Germany to win because the vibes were so insane there that I'm like, okay, I want to watch this in a future game. Like, I don't want this just to be once. Sadly, they ended up losing, and Cruz obviously retired. But even the later game, the France and Portugal game was also crazy there. Because in the penalty, look, the 120 minutes were boring. We're going to get through that in the podcast, but that was super boring. But the penalty kicks, it was so funny because every time Portugal would score, so it was divided into two. So Portugal was, let's say, on the left side, and France was on the right side. And every time, and there was wide open space in the middle between the two. Every time Portugal would score in the penalty shootouts, all the Portuguese fans would run up to the French fans and start suing right in front of them, like
so
right
funny.
in front of them. And then each time that France would score in the penalty shootout, they would pull out the Mbappe celebration right in front of them, and it was super funny. It was really funny to watch.
This reminds me of like a dance battle. Like there's a quarter in the middle, and the guys are dancing in the middle. But that
Yeah,
sounds
it was
crazy.
exactly like that.
Vara, I'm curious though, because I've never been to Germany, and we're all Italian background, so we eat good usually. I'm curious, what do you even eat there? Like, What's the specialty?
Okay. I had my first, I think they call it bratwurst here. I might have butchered the pronunciation.
Bratwurst?
This is just a glorified German sausage. It's really nothing special. It's just a salsich, if we're being for real here.
That
And,
listen, it's tough. We have a certain palate for food.
Our
because of
standards
our
are high,
background.
Millie.
The standards are very high. I'm not gonna lie. And
Yeah.
listen, overall, what would you give the food? Score 1 to 10. 1 being terrible and 10 being Italian.
No bias.
I'd put it as a 6 or 6.5. I mean, the bratwurst was good. It was a good sausage, and the
Why'd you gotta
potatoes
pause that,
were
bro?
good. But they do like cheese fries here, which were okay. But yeah, it was nothing special. Honestly, the worst thing and this is shocking because, and you guys can let us know in the comments what you think. McDonald's is by far the best fast food, in my personal opinion. McDonald's is goated.
In the
And
world?
in Canada, Canadian McDonald's is the best McDonald's I've ever had in my life. It's
Nah.
the best fast food.
Bob, I'll stop you there. In Italy, I know it's like disgraceful to eat McDonald's in Italy, but the McDonald's in Italy has some like higher quality. I don't know what it is. If it's the meat, the ketchup, it just tastes so good.
Brother,
Okay, you see?
go Varva,
Go ahead, Millie, go ahead.
Oh, look at that being Canadian.
Wow.
over there, throwing it over to me. But in Italy, I know they got that Parmigiano and you get
Yeah.
a little thing. And listen, they put pecorino in there. They put a bit of
It's
this,
like
bit
higher
of that.
quality.
It's higher quality. I'm not gonna lie, but listen, I don't think the viewers are here for our fast food review. Maybe on another channel, but listen, we could
But
get
German McDonald's was ass. I just have to give a heads up to everyone. Ass.
God
complete
damn.
ass.
I'll make sure to not go
Like
to McDonald's. in
Aslani
Germany.
FC, it's McDonald's is Aslani. McDonald's Germany is Aslani FC main shirt sponsor.
So yeah, that's a new shirt sponsor.
That's the
Makes
food
sense.
distributor of Aslani FC.
That's why everyone's shit because they keep eating it. God damn.
Listen, that's enough ripping on the McDonald's food there. I'm sure you're excited to come back and we'll have a nice little panini over here.
Yeah.
But listen, let's go straight into the games. We'll start off with the early one. It was Spain versus Germany. The game ends 2-1 extra time. Spain at 119th minute. Mikel Merino finds a way to get it done. Listen, this was a heartbreaker for Germany, as Varvar said. The fans were just absolutely gutted. We were getting some 2006 vibes off of this loss.
Did you see the Marino at the corner flag replicating the same celebration as his dad?
From like
the
30
same
years ago.
commentator?
That's exactly what I was gonna say, Firms. That was absolutely like I'm not surprised, but I'm more like, how did he remember to do that in that situation? He must have told himself before the game, if I score, I'm gonna celebrate exactly like my dad. And it was crazy, it's in the exact same, if I'm not mistaken, the exact same stadium too.
Yeah, there was so many coincidences, and I find these coincidences are happening way too often. Even Yamal, Messi, it's a bit off topic, but it's like...
That's insane. The fact that Yamal took a picture with Messi at 1 year old or however old he was, like that's
6 months,
ridiculous.
Like, I don't understand.
The things just
Born
happen
to
for
be
a
goated.
reason. Bro, these things happen for a reason, man. It's just meant to be. Like, listen, congrats to Mikel Merino. I'm sure that was a very special moment. But overall, like, the technicality on the pitch, like, the skill level was so high. You could just see the quality difference between these two teams and everyone else at the tournament. I think it's safe to say that these two teams should have been in the final, the way they were playing. But I think Germany, you see that they haven't really played a top team this like the whole Euros. But I think they played pretty well against Spain. What do you think, Firms?
I find Spain obviously played better, but at the beginning and even at the end, Germany had some chances that they have to score. The Füllkrug header, that needs to go in. I'm sorry. There was a couple of chances with Havertz. He wasn't that great as usual. But listen, I find Spain just played good. There was even Lamine Yamal getting kicked out yanked at one point because of the regulations in Germany, apparently. So nothing to do with his play style, but
I mean, we're gonna have to double check. We're gonna have to get a fact check on the regulations there because I know they said that he can't play after a certain time or whatever. But
Yeah, but I think they would have just taken the fine at that point. Like I think in one of the group stage games, they played him past the time and just got the fine.
I think they would. I think any team in the world would do that. Honestly, just take the hit. Who cares? You'll make it up in shirt sales anyways. But
Literally.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
I'm sure it's just because Lamine Yamal, his fitness is probably not up to like the standard of 120 minutes after just playing 3 group stage matches. So at 16 years old, that's not really shocking. I'm not saying that's a negative because at the end of the day, you're 16. You've probably prioritized more technical ability than physical ability in your development, so it's not that shocking.
Definitely, and it helps. It helps that now Spain is through, so hopefully we get to see him in the semifinal, cook up France. So, I mean, Spain Germany though it was a good game, very technical. In my opinion, the best game of the Euro so far. There was some good performances. I'd say Dani Olmo was one of my favorite. Defensively, Rudiger was not that good.
a lot of mistakes from Rudiger. I'm not gonna lie, some lapses in judgment. Even on that second goal, like you just saw, he just loses his man.
He kept backing up.
He can't. I don't know what he was doing, but something just wasn't clicking with him. Usually he's as solid as a wall, but I don't know. This was not the game to come in and like make those errors, which is unfortunate for him. But Germany somehow they played their style, like it was high possession. They were getting the chances, but not quality enough. And Havertz, I think, is key to that. Like he really was not that great. But Spain somehow was just so efficient with the ball. They were able to make the plays, make those chances, even without possession. So I don't know. Like I think Spain deserved to go through, but
Definitely.
I think both teams kind of deserve to at least make it to a semifinal.
This was the final in my mind. Like this would have been a good representation of who's playing the best in Euros because every single other quarterfinal game was a snooze fest.
Facts.
And these two teams gave us a classic, a game that like we will remember. I'm going to remember especially because how many times can you say you were in Germany when Germany played Spain in one of the best games I've probably ever watched? And did you see Nagelsmann said after the game like it's not normal that players leave camps crying like this. Like all the German players actually believed they were going to win the Euros.
I mean, you have a home court advantage. Then you have Toni Kroos leading your team. And it's sad to say that it's his last game as well. Like, I find that crazy to say. He's not that old.
The man somehow is at the top of his game and just decided to hang up the boots. It's an absolute tragedy, in my opinion. He had at least 4 or 5 extra years. Varvar, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of saw Toni Kroos in a Red Devils shirt at the age of 39, but that wasn't meant to be.
The aura that this man has, you guys didn't like experience this. The aura that he has in Germany is actually ridiculous. When they were reading out the team sheet before the game at the fan zone, every player was getting a decent reception. Toni Kroos, I swear every single person in that crowd said, Toni Kroos! Like, it was ridiculously loud compared to everyone else.
So he gets, I mean, he is a German legend, definitely.
I think he's a football legend.
Oh, 100%. He's an icon for sure.
Yeah, but it's crazy because he doesn't really have that much of a Bundesliga resume. It's all in Spain, I would say.
I mean, that kind of helps because I don't know how it works with rivalries in Germany. I'm sure there is, but I feel like if you were to play for Bayern for a long time, I mean, some Borussia Dortmund fans might not like him as much. I feel like in Italy that works more often, but it definitely helps that he made his career in Real Madrid. So what a legend, though.
I mean, not
And
to say that-
also Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller got a crazy reception when he got subbed on. One I was shocked about, Neuer did not get that good of a reception. Who else didn't get that good of a reception?
Oh, I wonder why.
Wirtz and Musiala got good receptions. I don't know. It's just Neuer kind of shocked me that he didn't get that good of a reception.
Is it because, I mean, his past performances haven't been up to standard, I'd say. They've obviously been good, but with Neuer, he's an icon of the sport as well. I mean, you're always expecting him to be the best player, the best goalie of the tournament, but he hasn't really been that so far.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that because he has made some crucial saves for Germany throughout the Euros. I'm not saying he's been the best. Like you could look at Unai Simon for that. You could look at Mamardashvili, Donnarumma too. Like this was a goalkeeper tournament. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of goalkeepers have shown up, but I think Neuer is part of that too. I don't think he had that bad of a Euro, but I mean it's really sad to see such a like promising German team in Germany not go deeper than, let's say, a semifinal, I think it would have been absolute mayhem to see him in a final. It would have been insane.
I'm still, if I'm German, I'm still leaving this tournament proud of the performance.
Yes,
100%.
That's something that us Italians did not do.
Exactly.
Because even if you get eliminated, if you play with heart, if we're just scoring at the 80, 87th, 88th minute, you show that you had fight.
Listen,
it was just unfortunate.
bro, ultimately, they lost at the 118th minute, so you can't really blame it on Germany's performance. I feel like they played well. It's just the last second, the guy scored a header out of nowhere. Like, it was bound to happen, I feel. They hold on a couple more minutes and you go to penalties, and it's a 50-50.
Exactly. Listen, this was absolute fantastic football to watch. Varvar, I'm curious to see who was your, let's say, player of the match for this game.
Player of the match. That's interesting. I would probably say, look, Dani Olmo was crazy good. So you always do have to give it to Dani Olmo. Fabian Ruiz, for some reason, masterclass after masterclass. I don't know what's happening to him this tournament. But
Bro,
wow.
I don't know. Did you guys see the turn? It's been on Instagram everywhere. He did this turn in between three players. He completely smoked them. I don't know if you guys saw the
Wannabe
clip.
Kobe Mainu. Wannabe Kobe Mainu
Bro,
doing his
Kobe Mino would only dream to do that. Fabian Ruiz, though, what a player. I feel like he's definitely been the standout player for Spain.
I
Crazy to say.
I think right now he's solidifying that like top 3 player in the Euros this whole tournament, which is absolutely crazy to say. If anyone put money on Fabian Ruiz making team of the tournament or player of the tournament, I mean, God bless.
A good investment.
Did you guys see the odds for player of the tournament?
I wish
No.
I did. I wish I did after seeing Fabian Ruiz play, bro.
Okay, I'll give you guys each 3 guesses. Who's your guess? I'll give you guys combined 3 guesses. Who's the top favorite right now in your opinion?
Right? Is it right now or before the tournament started?
I believe. Oh, sorry. I was looking at Ballon d'Or odds.
That's
But
That's different. That's a different
yeah, I know.
conversation.
But I remember the player of the tournament odds. It was, who was the top option? I remember
Gotta
the
be
top
Mbappe.
option. Who do you think it is?
Mbappe.
No,
Ronaldo.
come on, Firms. Are you crazy? I'm saying right now, like at this date, after the quarterfinals.
Oh, right
Okay,
now?
after the quarterfinals. Wow. Is Yamal up there?
No, Tony Cruz.
Yamal is second. Tony Cruz is out, so you would not be in player of the
Oh,
tournament.
you're talking about the
conversation.
semifinals then?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have England. It's probably an England
He's
player.
Spanish. I'll give you guys that he's Spanish.
Spanish.
Nico Williams?
No.
No, it's Rodri.
Bro, what has he done, honestly?
No, he's played
Okay,
good.
no,
He's
he's
been
been
good.
good, but I would say Fabian Ruiz has been better in my personal mind.
I completely agree. I think
not-
Fabian Ruiz has done not way more than Rodri, but has been way more effective in the build-up and the play and the actual the actual turnout of how Spain is playing. He's been more essential than Rodri. Rodri has been class, but Fabian Ruiz is a magician.
I don't think so. I think they just cover different areas of the field. Fabian Ruiz looks more involved because he's scoring, he's assisting, but Rodri, he's holding that line down. And then Pedri. It sucks that he got hurt.
Rodri's been good. Pedri, it sucks that he got injured. I agree, and it's funny because he was going at Tony Cruz right before the game, and then Tony Cruz injures him in like the first 5 minutes. It was really
Yeah.
funny.
Do you know what was funny? It was Tony Cruz injuring Pedri and then seeing Dani Olmo come on and like having a sigh of relief, but then he actually ends up being the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
Like
He
after
got man
gets
of the
subbed
match.
out.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
It deserved.
that's absolutely crazy.
And
But
it was funny. It was funny because when Tony Cruz fouled Pedri, everyone in the crowd was like, "Oh, get up!" And then they
Yeah.
see the replay, and everyone's just like, "Ooh!"
That was ugly. He what did he break? He tore something,
I
definitely.
think
That
he
was
sprained something in his knee.
yeah, it didn't look good.
I don't know. That cast was looking like it was going the whole leg. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening there, but we're wishing him a speedy recovery because obviously he is a generational talent. But at the end of the day, man, Spain did what they needed to do, and as we predicted, Spain into the semifinals. So, listen, pat on the back, fellas.
By the way.
Well,
By
we
the
went
way-
4 for 4.
Yeah, 4 for 4. I was about to say it. The haters were hating on that YouTube video. You guys don't know ball. You guys don't. Your predictions suck. Brothers, 4 for 4 is not bad.
It's better than not bad. We're generational.
Listen, we know ball at the end of the day. I'm not gonna toot our own horns here, but like 4 for 4 is nothing to sniff at. So
So Millie, is Spain supposed to win this tournament? Do you see them winning it?
after this game, I think you have no choice but to see them winning this tournament. I know we had England and France in that quarterfinal, in that final, but I don't know. Spain are looking obviously as the most dominant side at the Euros.
Millie.
Oh boy.
Spain have like 3 or 4 suspensions going into next game
Yeah,
against
it's
France.
true. They Carvajal suspended.
That was a crazy red card, by the way.
That was. Do you find?
Carvajal
Wait,
is-
Barbara, 1 second. Do you find that foul was necessary? Because Firms and I were discussing while watching the game. We're like, does Carvajal need to do that foul, or like, was he just like gambling the whole tournament?
Look, I think if you gave him the chance to do it now, he would probably not do it. But in that situation, game state, I think it's without a doubt. The guy just made it past you. You're like one of the last men back, and it's the last minute of the game. Just to secure a semifinals, just take the red card and then let your teammates worry about it.
It's crazy. It's a big sacrifice. I guess you must rate Musiala because after Musiala dribbled, he knew he was done.
He was
he
cooked.
had to grab
Musiala
him by
got
the neck.
murdered that game. Every single time he touched the ball, foul. It's like it was a coaching instruction just to foul him every time.
I think that's the only way to stop him, to be honest.
It was tough for Musiala to get the ball more than like 3-4 seconds and start dribbling because there was always a Spanish man on him. It was absolutely crazy. He would just look for the quick pass because the way they were like so physical with him was like that. You knew that was the game plan.
I loved how he played, though. I find every time he touches the ball, it's silky, it's smooth. He gets out of dribbles with no problem. He could have 3 people on him, and you know he might have a 75% chance of getting out of that dribble, no problem. He's a great player.
No doubt, without a doubt. We can go on to the Portugal-France game also, because I've been waiting to speak about this on the podcast. Ronaldo in 2024 might be the worst player to have on your team.
Oh, we're starting this again.
Listen, this was unfortunately after the Spain-Germany game. This is not what we wanted to see. I promise you. Like, we were already tired as it is after that game, and you hit us with this snooze fest. I'm sorry, I did not feel like there was tension in this game at all. This could have been a group stage game for all I cared, because it's as if both teams just said, yeah, we'll wait until penalties. Like, from the first minute, they said, yeah, we'll see how long we could play for. I don't know what was happening in this game, but just nothing was working for both sides, and both attacks were completely stunted.
No, definitely.
Did you guys see what Marcelo Bielsa said about games being boring now or no?
No.
I saw it. I didn't read it fully, but I know he said something.
What did he say?
So basically what he said was that football needs to make a conscious effort. Like UEFA and FIFA and everyone needs to make a conscious effort to make the football entertaining, because big tournaments like this do not help grow the game. Like when teams play like this, it actually hinders the game. And it feels like every team is just not taking chances, and football's bigger than just trying to win. It's more like identification for a country.
How do you think you go about that? I feel like that's such a big thing to say. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, how do you make something
I
entertaining?
I don't know how they would implement making teams more attacking, but I do low-key agree with him. Like games like every single England game so far has been a snooze fest. Portugal, every single game for Portugal was a snooze fest. France, snooze fest. Like these are the teams that you're going into the tournament where the I would say casuals, the people who don't follow the sport that much but are like, oh, Ronaldo's playing, oh, Mbappe's playing, like England, Bellingham. Those are the games they're gonna watch, and then that's the first taste that they're gonna get. Like it's not something that's gonna make them keep watching.
But I completely agree with that. I honestly think the quality in play has dropped so dramatically. Like, listen, you could look at the systems of play for teams, like people taking on that Pep system, that Pep style, and people are just blaming straight up Pep for all this. Like, every team just is going in to just win, and it doesn't matter what type of player you are a system, like you are part of the system that needs to win. And at the end of the day, you could look at these teams and the amount of pressure that they have. you have to win. So I don't even think they care about style of play or identity. It's more just you need to win because we have so much at stake.
But I don't really understand that because like Spain wants to win and Spain plays entertaining. I think it's something about just the technical ability of some of the teams. I mean, Spain is taught to take on the wingers. You have the ball, go 1v1 every time. And we see that with Nico Williams and Yamal. France, it feels like they don't tell Mbappe to take on a man all the time. It feels like if you don't have a clear chance, pass it back. And that's
But I think...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Firm. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, those are things that we even saw with Portugal. I mean, Leao did it a couple of times, but it looks like they're scared. These players don't have the courage that Ronaldinho once had, Kaká once had. I don't know. What do you think, Varvar?
I think international coaches nowadays are just not desired positions anymore. Like, progressive managers don't want to take international jobs. You saw it with Nagelsmann. Look how that turned out. Germany were insane this tournament. You saw it a bit with Spalletti, but let's not speak about that. And Spain have a progressive manager. De La Fuente won at U21 level, U18 levels with Spain. But then you look at the teams that have taken in pragmatic managers. The Portugals with Roberto Martinez, the Southgate for England, the Deschamps for France, the Komans for Netherlands. Like, their games, look, Netherlands have actually been entertaining, so I'm not going to slander them. Coaches like that, why do England, what's stopping France from getting an up-and-coming French coach that plays progressive football? Like, Portugal have no reason to not get like someone like Conceição or something like that.
No, that's a good point.
I honestly think it's an image issue because you're not going to, just as a nation as a whole, if you're coming in to a major international tournament with poor representation, no one's going to necessarily take you seriously. Like, for France, the clear option for me is like a Zidane, who a legend in the sport. And when you show up to a national tournament and your coach is Zidane, automatically other teams start fearing you. If you come in with a French manager that's not necessarily proven at the domestic level or like the European level, let's say in the Champions League, then people start looking at France differently. Like, I see that with Italy. Like, if you saw this Italy, they had the same players, but they put Ancelotti as their coach. I think you'd look at Italy more differently. Like, oh, okay, they might actually do something. Oh, wait, actually, they have Ancelotti. I think it's a name issue. It's a brand issue. So Portugal, for me, like, I agree, like a Conceição would be fantastic for them. Even brand-wise, you have someone that is in the Portuguese league and is dominating. And I don't know. It's as Varvar said, it seems like it is a undesirable position because you're only there every 2 years and you have so much at stake and you're not necessarily paid the same wages, let's say, as other coaches.
And just think about it. You're not given the same amount of time as a club coach to work on passing out the back patterns and pressing patterns because you only have these players for a couple of weeks every couple of months.
And also, you got to work with what you have. I mean, someone like Roberto Martinez, he has to work with those Portugal players. But I don't know. I just find like Roberto Martinez was a very weird hire for me because you have so many up-and-coming Portuguese coach, Ruben Amorim, Sergio Conceição, as you said. There's so many others. Fonseca, I'm going to slide in there. But what's making these countries not even go for coaches that come from that country? Like, why Roberto Martinez? I don't understand that, to be honest.
The weird thing is I actually like how Roberto Martinez coached a team outside of Ronaldo. Other than Ronaldo, that decision, in my opinion, ruined his entire tournament. Like, I'm not going to say Portugal were going to go on and win it, and that's not what I'm going to say. But that team with a striker that offered more than just box presence would have done a lot more this tournament. Would have been an actual, in my opinion, in the Spain and Germany tier.
I think you said that at the beginning of the tournament too, Varvar, that like Portugal with the right players on the pitch are top three in the Euros. And unfortunately, Ronaldo is a burden on the whole team as a whole because his play style does not suit what Roberto Martinez is doing. I cannot stress how many silver platter chances that Portuguese team gave Ronaldo, and he absolutely whiffed on it. We could talk about the free kicks for an hour, but listen, at the end of the day, they needed to make a decision, and they didn't do it, and that was bench Ronaldo.
it's even just, let's say they're in a, like, this goes down to even this game. France-Portugal was a pretty 50-50 game. The fine margins decide a game like France-Portugal, where a free kick could change the entire game. Meanwhile, you're forced to give it to Ronaldo, who scored one free kick for Portugal in his entire career, which was on David De Gea, by the way. Let's not talk about that.
Oh my God.
But he scored one free kick his entire career, and this brother's pulling up from Toni Kroos at the World Cup angles from the corner flag.
But against France, I saw him lay it off to Bruno a couple of times. There was a couple of times where Bruno took the free kick, which surprised me. It's as if he understood.
We don't speak about that.
Yeah, we keep it hidden. But Ronaldo, he continues.
Listen, I think he even realized it himself. I'm sure he watched back that game and is like, yeah, this is one of the worst games of my like professional and international career. And I think he did make some sort of a change for him. He
You guys are over hating him. I'm sorry.
Brother, this isn't
No,
an
no,
overhate.
Ferm.
This isn't an overhate.
Joao
Ferms.
Felix scores that penalty. Portugal is still in. Ronaldo did his job. He just didn't do it in 90 minutes.
What's
but
Ronaldo's job? To play 120 minutes of ass, like Aslan FC captain, and then score a penalty?
Same thing could be said about Mbappe. I'm sorry, but what did Mbappe do?
Mbappe, at least he didn't let Mbappe, first of all, he said, "Coach, I'm just not feeling it today." After 105 minutes, he said, "Coach, I'm not feeling it today. My nose is hurting me too much. Take me off the pitch." Ronaldo would never say that.
Yeah, he would tell the coach, "Nah, keep me on for an extra 15. He could have a broken leg. The guy's still on." At the end of the day, I think it's just Ronaldo. It was very tough for him to accept the fact that this was his last Euros, and very tough for him to accept the fact that he's going to end it off without a goal. And listen, you can count the penalty goals if you want, I guess.
No,
but
we're not counting that.
But I just think that in his position, you put a different striker.
Who? Tell me who? Gonzalo Ramos?
Gonzalo Ramos finishes
Doesn't change.
at least 40-50% of those chances that
No,
Ronaldo
he does
gets.
not.
Yes, he does,
No,
Ferms,
he does
because
not.
those chances were textbook.
I don't want to make it sound like we're just saying Portugal were shit this tournament because of Ronaldo. There were other factors also, like Bruno could have played better. Who else could have played better? Like Pepe could have played better, even though he was actually decent. Nuno Mendes actually surprised me this tournament.
Very good.
But there were, in my opinion, the root issue was Ronaldo's performances. And the fact that he's still being relied upon, like take Luis Suarez for Uruguay as an example. He accepts a bench role for Uruguay now at this point because Darwin Núñez is not some world-class player that's, oh my God, he's bagging every single game like Suarez versus Prime Suarez versus Darwin Núñez now. It's not that type of debate. But Suarez still recognized that, okay, I'm not at that level. Even though Darwin Núñez is good, I'm not at that level. I'll take my back seat. And look at where Uruguay now are in Copa America. I mean, they just beat Brazil. They've been looking good in this tournament. So I think Ronaldo needs to take a similar role, just accept bench minutes at this point.
Look, sure, but at the same time, I'm sorry, but I can't name you someone who has been exceptional for Portugal. You got Bernardo Silva, who is supposed to be a leader up front. He didn't do much. Bruno, Leao.
Brother, he's a Man City player. They're all overrated.
I mean, Akanji with Switzerland did pretty well. Like
Missed the penalty though.
he missed the penalty, but that's a 50-50 chance again. Like
I just think that Portugal had the right ingredients, let's say. Just didn't put it completely all together. Let's just say they undercooked.
they undercooked,
cake.
definitely.
They undercooked because they were so good up until that like final third ball, like those 1-2 last passes before a chance is fully created, and it was just nothing.
But to me, I'm gonna give credit to France's defense because they've been insane. Like there hasn't been an attacker that has showed weaknesses in this France defense. Theo Hernandez, insane performances, especially against Portugal. Even someone like Koundé, who honestly, we've all called mid at one point in his career. He's been probably
That
the
would be
best.
a nice way to put my slander.
Yeah, that's just like a sugarcoating it just a little bit.
He's been one of the best in that defense. Like Saliba, insane. A couple of mistakes here and there, but I don't know.
Even
France is well
Upamecano
drilled.
too.
Upamecano too.
Upamecano's been decent, and I think with France, the reason why this ends 0-0 is because again they were toothless in attack. Listen. You could point to Mbappe. You could point to whoever you want. I could even say Thuram too is a part of that. But there were chances late in this game where, what brother? How is there no one in the box?
Definitely, there's no presence.
Thuram is making crosses, trying to create plays. Brother, nobody is in that box. I just don't understand why there's no pressure at all from France.
For me, an underrated shout of player of the tournament, and this is assuming they win the tournament and he plays well in the semis and the final, is Ousmane Dembele, because he cooked Portugal, and low-key, he's been having a good tournament.
I don't know what you consider a good Varvar, because I think you need to get on the score sheet before you even get close to a conversation like that, especially in his position.
Goals and assist merchants, bro.
Bro, I'm sorry, Varvar. When I saw Ousmane Dembele win man of the match, I was flabbergasted. I could not believe it. I feel like there was definitely someone better. Kante, give it to someone else. But Ousmane Dembele, he did not play that good.
Give it to Vitinha.
Vitinha played very well, I gotta say.
Give it to someone like that, bro. Someone that actually showed some technical ability, showed some actual like bite, some like fear in the way he plays. But man, Dembele, I'm sorry, he's been okay. He's been all right. If you're gonna win a player of the tournament, you got to score, and unfortunately, he just hasn't done that. And France as a whole has not done that. Just something's not clicking. And what's surprising is that these players have been in the system for tournaments, not multiple tournaments, and yet somehow it's almost like this is like their first time playing together. I don't understand what's happening, but the game ends 0-0. France make it through. Ronaldo's Euro is officially done. His international career, is officially done. Wait, is he going to the World Cup?
Yeah, he is apparently.
Okay, so Euros international.
Shameless activities.
That's crazy egregious. If he was bad now, brother, good luck in 2026.
That's another debate. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to get into it, but we could leave it up in the air. But I wonder, is bringing Ronaldo to the 2026 World Cup as a starter good?
You're delaying progress, brother. You are just
Do you
delaying
think so?
progress. It's like
Yeah.
bringing.
You're wasting a golden generation.
It's like bringing Francesco Totti in for the Euro 2016 or Euro 2020.
Totti would be our best attacker, brother.
Honestly, you might be right, but listen now. Now we're gonna head to the other side of the bracket. It is England versus Switzerland. Firms almost called it. He said 2-1 Switzerland.
I said 1-0 Switzerland.
1-0 Switzerland, and he was right there. But unfortunately, England get one back from Bukayo Saka.
So Varvar, I was watching the game and I was looking at our predictions. So Switzerland scores. It's 1-0. I'm partying. It's a party in my house. All the Italians are going nuts. And I'm looking at my predictions and I see 1-0 Switzerland. And I'm like, wow, I am the ball knowledge king over here. 2 minutes later, England scores back. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
England's going to win another game. But thankfully, it was in penalties. So I guess it was a 50-50 again. But what did you think about this game, Varvar?
England are legit just getting their hopes up to lose in the final, in my opinion, right now.
Do you think they're propping up to just like be a disaster class? Like, is that what's going to happen?
I think, look, honestly, I think England put up a good game against anyone. I don't think they're that bad where they get smoked. Like, let's say Spain were in the final against them. I don't think it ends 4-0 or whatever. I think it would be like a 2-1 game or something like that. But, brother, how long can these performances go without actual validity to them?
Listen, I completely agree with you because England, I'm going to say it straight up. I think they did not deserve to win this game.
Mm-mm.
You had good individual performances from like a Bukayo Saka or from a Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice was really good in this game.
Kobe Menu.
No, brother,
okay,
no.
Relax. Brother was like decent. Wasn't a man of the match worthy in my opinion, but I think...
Well, he definitely is not getting transferred to Aslan. He beat the Aslani FC allegations.
That we could give him.
He was close, though. He was close. Just the deals fell through at the final hour, you know? But I honestly believe, and I'm totally fine with saying it, Switzerland deserved to win this game. I was going to be totally satisfied with Switzerland winning because I watched and I'm like, yeah, they deserve to go through. And England were just so not up to par. I don't know what it is. There's some sense of lethargicness. I don't even know if that's a word. They were just so slow. It's almost like all of them were Varvar. They were curling their toes, bro. This is a toe curler. That's what I was calling. This is what I'm going to call that England performance. This is a toe curler over the toilet, no shirt situation.
Oh my Lord.
I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys on the podcast. I fell asleep in the 30th minute. I'm not gonna
Brother,
cap.
you can't be saying that.
Brother, we can't even watch. We can't even talk about the game. Brother was asleep
I
for most of it.
I gotta say it because how many? Honestly, if you had to torture someone, I would legit just turn on like straight 90s of England.
That's crazy.
Like that's like a tooth, like holding up your eyes, toothpick, like torture device.
Yeah, like this is like insane amount of torture having to watch these games because I could first of all, it's at night here. It was at like I don't even remember the time. So you guys, if you guys fell asleep, you have no excuse. At night in Europe, I have an excuse.
Barbara, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because I think like at the 118th minute, Millie's like texting me, or I feel like I was texting you, and we were like low key bored. We're like, so what are you up to? What do you think of this game?
I
It's
texted
all right.
Firms. I texted Firms, and I'm like, Firms, I can't believe I'm looking at Twitter.
Yes, that's what you said.
While it's the 115th minute of a Euro quarterfinal. I said, I cannot believe that I'm this bored that I'd rather scroll Twitter than watch a knockout Euro game. I could not believe it.
Varvar, 120th minute, this brother was sending memes on Twitter. I kid you not.
This was absolutely egregious work by England. I'm not gonna lie. Like they owe an apology to everyone for how poorly they have been playing. I don't necessarily think you could pinpoint anyone that has been bad. I just think the system hasn't worked well with these players. Like it just hasn't gelled well enough. But I do think honestly, like after that Saka goal, like leading up to that Saka goal as well, they were kind of getting in that rhythm. They were kind of settling in a lot more, but it just happened way too late in the game. I don't understand what happened. And listen, they made a couple changes. Cole Palmer comes on, Luke Shaw comes on. And all of a sudden, they kind of get a little more pep in their step. I'm not saying it's Luke Shaw, Varda.
As I said, Luke Shaw opens the keys to this team.
Brother, you can't even say anything. You fell asleep. After he came on. We just have to fix something technical for 2 seconds, but we are back. Varvar, listen, that latency in Germany ain't looking too good at that hotel.
I'm on some hotel Wi-Fi right now. It's probably even worse than McDonald's Wi-Fi if I'm being for real.
How is the hotel? Is it nice?
It's nice. I would give you guys a tour, but then I would screw up my entire camera setup.
don't worry.
And
let's just say you're living lavish.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to the England game. Luke Shaw is the best left back the sport has ever seen potentially.
He went straight into it. Brother went straight into it. No hesitation.
Foreplay.
After watching 30 minutes of the game, Barbar,
That's
you're
crazy.
saying that. The brother wasn't even on yet.
I mean, I even just told you guys I was asleep. So, but he's still the greatest left back of all time.
Listen, no one defends Luke Shaw like you, Varvar. At the end of the day, honestly, it is England going through, which a lot of people weren't too happy about because obviously people did. The common consensus was that Switzerland was the better team. Just ended Emmanuel Akanji put the freaking knife in the chest of Switzerland fans because he missed the first penalty. There might be questions about this penalty order from Switzerland. It was a little egregious, I'm not going to lie. But Akanji, he's the one that misses it for Switzerland.
Did you guys see the picture on Instagram of Pickford's bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a go left, go right.
With all the directions, yeah, of every player, of where they kick, if it was low, high, in the middle. And I guess it worked because he got Akanji's shot. He saved it.
Yeah, but like he one or two times he went the opposite way, so it didn't really work well. And like it was all theater for him. Like you saw his face going like, "Wah!" Like,
Yeah,
And did you also see Trent was speaking to his friends after the game?
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I had to take it because he didn't want to take it." So people are assuming that Foden was ducking the smoke in the penalty shootout.
Is that who you like? Do you guys think that's true?
Foden got subbed off in like the 111th or something like that. He got subbed off right before the pens.
Was it?
So,
it may have been Eze.
Is it really?
Eze, yeah.
Maybe.
Some people were
but-
saying it might be Eze because apparently he's a good penalty taker, but he didn't take a penalty. So, listen, I don't honestly blame these players
I
feeling
know.
pressure. Like I could imagine.
After the last time?
Yeah, Saka, honestly, props to him, man. I think he overcame that demon of his because I could imagine just replaying that over and over and over again that you're the one that shot the losing kick, you know. But he rebounded well, and I listen. If I was in their position, I think I'd vomit at the penalty with anxiety. So props to them.
Did I mention it last podcast, or did I tell you guys off camera about the longer you take for your pens, the higher conversion rate?
Yeah, it was off camera. Well,
So-
technically it was the pod.
Yeah,
But
we should explain that.
Yeah,
'cause-
listen.
yeah.
Everyone was asking us about what happened to the last podcast episode. We did have one recorded. It was just an audio file didn't go according to plan. So
It was a banger too. I can't. Can't cap.
When are these not bangers?
They're always bangers, but that one specifically, I feel like we gave a good analysis, an Italian reaction to us getting kicked out against Switzerland.
That'll be lost to time, brother. That our Italian
sad.
reaction. It's a shame. People, that was our raw reaction too.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, but yeah, we just wanted to be transparent with you guys. It was just a technical fault on our end. So we apologize, but that is why we're back here. So listen, it is what it is. But Varvar, please continue because you did say that on the unreleased pod.
So this is shout out to AFC James, by the way, because he's the one who put me onto this on Twitter. So basically, the longer that players take to after the whistle from the referee, according to the average, they actually have a better finishing rate than the players who go right away. If you saw, Saka took 2 deep breaths, I think, or he took 8 seconds or something like that after the referee whistled to take his shot. And players are actually aware of this because I don't know if you saw Bernardo Silva speaking to Bruno Fernandes right before the penalty shootout. Bruno Fernandes told him, take 2 deep breaths after the referee whistles and take your time. Obviously, I don't think Bernardo took his advice because he didn't do it. So
But Bernardo
I don't
scored.
think he took his... Yeah, I know. I'm not saying he didn't score. I'm just saying he didn't take the advice because I was actually watching after that to see if he would take the advice. He did not. But yeah, I think players are starting to become more aware of this. The longer you take, the more... I think that the analysis of it is that the goalkeeper is not going to be mobile for the whole, for 10 seconds. He's not going to be jumping around for 10 seconds. He's going to get...
Jittery.
He's going to get immobilized.
Okay, I see. I feel like when I was smaller and I was definitely playing football, my coaches have definitely mentioned this. Like, take your time on a penalty. Like, try to zone in, dial in. But I'm curious, what do you guys think of these run-ups? Like, I feel like everybody has a different run-up nowadays. Some stop. Some have, like, that one, that little 2-step shoot.
Listen, I'm not gonna. I don't want to beat on a dead horse with Ronaldo, but one of his penalties, like I swear, the brother just straight up stopped, straight up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
he
it was really like, well, like I was really paying attention to it, especially after Varvar said this stat. I was watching all these penalties. We got blessed with penalty shootouts, by the way.
Very good, yeah.
But like, I was watching it. I'm taking notice, like how these players are going up there and shooting and all that. Like, it's an art form, pretty much. Like even Ivan Toney, like the man just stared down Jan Sommer the whole time and somehow was able to place it like to perfection. And credit to England, their penalty taking was pretty like phenomenal because Sommer, listen, I'm not a little bit of biased opinion here, but he is a top goalkeeper, and he got stonewalled and sent different directions like on every single one. In each penalty shot, I don't think he had a chance. So they knew exactly like what they were doing. It seemed like they trained well for it.
Most often it's a mental thing more than a technical. So Sommer could be the best goalie in the world, but he looked like he lost every mental battle there. Tony...
Sorry, go ahead, Firms.
No, just like the Tony instance, like you could tell Tony was going to score that. When they pull up with confidence like that, it's not technique, it's all mental.
I'm all for not going the same, like keeping a constant speed into your run-up or actually like accelerating the whole time. I'm all for going, stop, go, slow down, like those types of penalty kicks because the goalkeeper can't time when your shot's going to come, so they can't try and get like that extra leap in before your shot comes in. So let's say Ronaldo stopped his time. Sommer couldn't get all the way down to the left corner. I think it was the left corner or right corner if you're Sommer, because he couldn't read the timing of the shot.
So I guess it gives you an unfair advantage, I'd say.
Listen,
kicker.
no,
I don't
the
understand. I don't think
rule-
it's an unfair advantage, but continue, Barbara. Sorry.
The rule is that you cannot fully stop.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo never fully stopped. He just accelerated really quickly and then decelerated basically where he's just light jogging.
I don't know. It was very tough. Like his legs didn't move. Like maybe you could see
He
an
definitely
arm.
stopped, guys. Come on.
It low key. Like I'm not even joking. That was the one time I looked at a penalty and I'm like, the brother stopped. The brother stopped.
He didn't stop. I refuse to believe that he stopped.
You refuse to believe that he stopped. That's brother. We all got a pair of eyes, bro. And I know people need glasses, but I'm sure we got 20/20 vision here. The brother he froze, bro. It was a mannequin challenge over there at the penalty spot. But I mean, back to this game. England make it through deservedly. You be the judge, but at the end of the day,
This is a Mickey Mouse Euros if they win this, by the way.
that's
Mickey
what I'm
Mouse.
saying. That's what I'm saying. We might have to rant about it, Varvar. I'm not gonna lie. If England end up bringing it home, like this, may be like a 2-hour rant session at
Situation.
the podcast studio.
It would honestly depend how they play in the finals. Like if they play Spain and then completely dominate Spain, like then the Mickey Mouse accusations won't be true. But if they get dominated by Spain or France in the final and then end up winning somehow with a 1-0 Jude Bellingham bicycle kick in the 97th minute, I might actually find a way to rage quit life.
That's what I'm saying. Like if this is a Spain versus England final and England shithouse their way to a Euro Cup, like this is a 2.5-hour pod sesh. It could just be you and me, Varvar. Doesn't matter. Firms, I think, would love to join too.
Oh, that's my specialty.
Pala especially. So, like, listen, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope this ends up being entertaining. But on the same side of the bracket, we're going to head over to Netherlands versus Turkey, which I am very surprised on how competitive this game was. And both teams played very, very well. Like, the quality was very high considering the two teams, which I'm very surprised about. Look, I'm saying this is more entertaining, definitely, than Portugal versus France.
100%. I think, look, I think, sorry, Millie, I actually cut out there. I tried to speak, but I actually cut out. Firms, you got it, bro.
I got her. I'll take over. I find Netherlands did play well, but Turkey actually showed some fight, which I wasn't expecting. There was some good plays from them. There was an own goal, though, from Muldur, I believe.
Yes, on the Gakpo. That was the second goal.
Yeah, and once again, Gakpo. The brother just turns into R9 Prime. I don't know what they're giving him in this Netherlands team. It makes no sense. He's dribbling. He is shooting. He's the main man on every action. Apart from him, no other really...
I mean, brother, I don't know.
De Vrij.
Oh, come on, whatever.
Stefan De Vrij is arguably in team of the tournament. It's not even a debate. Not even a debate. The Inter man, obviously he's from Inter.
Millie, would you sell him from Inter?
30 million, 40 million, sure.
And who's going to pay
mind
this?
if I do.
And, bro, Firms,
Don't
what type
mind
of
if I
question
do.
is that, bro? Every single player has a price at Inter.
Yeah, Varver knows. Listen, you got to make our bread somewhere, brother. It ain't coming good. They ain't growing off the tree for us.
God damn.
But De Vrij,
I walk
absolutely
into
fantastic.
Inter. I walk into Inter like it's a shopping market. Like, Lautaro Martinez. I don't want you. I'll put you back on the shelf. But
It's a
I'll take
sale.
Nicolo Barella.
It's 50% off everything.
That
I'm
you
going to
wish
take
it-
a Lautaro, a little Barella.
Like I said, Milan is outside begging for spare change. Back to the international play, though. Netherlands was on a different level this game. This is different from what we've seen in the group stage. And they just put everything together. Memphis Depay was more of a creator in this game rather than a goal-scoring threat, I find. But Gakpo, he's getting on the end of those balls and he's like making them pay. But credit to Turkey, they went up in this game. Çalhanoğlu, an absolute magician. Like, he was so good in this game. It's such a shame that they ended up losing because
Millie,
it
how
masked
do you
that Çalha
somehow
performance.
how do you somehow get out of that Turkey performance
Yeah.
that anyone other than Arda Güler had this insane performance?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Arda Güler was fantastic in this game. I think this raised his stock by 1 million. But if you're looking at the real engine of the team, it is the captain, Çalhanoğlu. But I digress, boys. What did you think of the play? What did you think of the overall game?
It was honestly a very good game. It was one of the most entertaining knockout games so far, in my personal opinion.
I find one star that I really liked in this game was the left back, Kadioglu. Amazing player. I don't know who really, like, somebody should buy him. big team. Or this is like a left back that we've not seen in a while. He's a playmaking left back. He's running up and down. He's cutting in. Great passing. I was really impressed in him, I gotta say.
Quote me if I'm wrong. I believe he's linked to, was linked before. I don't know after California and stuff, but linked to Arsenal before, and then now linked to Dortmund. But I may be wrong. I think as an Ian Maatsen replacement, they want him.
Oh, I definitely see that. I think he was one of the best for Turkey, definitely.
I think, honestly, that Turkey, you could say that they deserve to go through, but Netherlands at one point just took over the game. They were completely dominant. They were moving the ball very, very well, getting into those dangerous spots. And listen, at the end of the day, they finished their chances. That's just what it is. That's why the score is 2-1, and Turkey didn't score a second.
Do you think Turkey had a chance?
I think they did. I think they at one point it was like, okay, Turkey it might be an England-Turkey semifinal situation here.
Well, I mean, we were on FaceTime, when we were watching this game, and
Yes.
the last minute we were like, oh, when the players got Turkey got two like grade A chances and they didn't bury.
Who was it again?
Oh, that I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Pick a name out of a hat, bro.
But that's the thing. Like Turkey, at the end of the game, they had 3-4 chances to tie it up. Like it could have gone either way. Like I could have seen this game go into extra time, go deep, like maybe a goal here or there in extra time, and then into penalties. Like it's not crazy to say. But Netherlands firms, our dark horses prevail once again. At what point are they even considered dark horses? Because they're making it to semifinals.
Yeah, Varva, what do you think? Are they considered successful dark horses right now?
This is a Mickey Mouse dark horse, bro.
Oh my
There's no
God.
other way to put it, bro.
Bro, this is the man that picked Uruguay as a dark horse for Copa America. This is
No,
egregious
I
work.
picked them as my winner.
Oh,
Oh,
You
even worse.
picked the USA as what
No. Me?
no,
you know what? You actually cooked, Mill. You actually said USA was going to be the disappointment.
no, he said Canada.
I said Canada.
Canada?
Oh,
Disappointment.
Canada. Oh, yeah,
That-
you
Yeah,
missed.
I did not cook.
Pala said USA. Flop of the tournament.
Paula cooked a bit. But
Paula cooks that.
yeah, Netherlands, they've not been playing like semifinalists. I'll just say it that way.
It's been a bit rough, but do you guys think they'll beat England?
No.
I
think-
don't think so.
I don't think Netherlands play disciplined enough. Like they leave too many gaps to look, I can say this and then England will drop an instant shitter. But like I just think they don't play disciplined enough. I think they're too positionally undisciplined.
No, I agree with that. I think I've been disappointed in Xavi Simons. I've honestly not seen much from him.
I think you've seen a lot of him with the ball.
Yeah.
What is that creation that he's done? Like he's like 85% there. He's just missing that final pass, and his decision making has been very poor, which I'm very surprised about. He's not making the right passes. He's not making the right plays. Like they're on like 3-on-3 situations. You're passing it to the wrong side. Like I don't know exactly what is the problem, but I think it's more of an individual thing because he does have the quality. He has the quality. I think one more tournament under his belt, like you could see World Cup 2026, Netherlands are in it. He could be a protagonist there.
I get the feeling that he's played out of the position of what he usually plays. I feel like right wing or that little half space spot really doesn't fit him. I don't know what it is, but he's an excellent player.
Bring him to Man U.
You think?
That is a career ruiner right there, boss.
Dutch connections.
Oh, bro, we're getting Matthias de Ligt, Xerxes. We can add Xavi Simons to that Dutch soup that we're making.
Do you guys want to talk about that?
I mean,
transfer
Go to
talk.
transfers.
I mean, it's up to you guys. We got a bit of Copa talk.
Copa
too.
America.
Oh, let's
we
get
gotta
to
we
Copa
gotta
first.
say Canada. We gotta speak about Canada.
Listen, that's why we got the kid up there in the back. If you guys are watching on YouTube, Canada has made it to a semifinal of a tournament. I can't believe I'm even saying that, considering where Canada started from. And we are facing Argentina back to Group A. Listen, that first game, listen, boys, we were there. We weren't there at the game. We wish we were there.
We were in Canada.
But we did watch the game, and we saw the quality from Canada that first 45 minutes, but Argentina took it over in that second half. But now you have a Canada that's like, their confidence is way over the moon right now. And Argentina, they were one penalty kick away from being out of this tournament. Like if they somehow flunked in that quarterfinal, bro, we could have seen Canada in a final of a Copa America.
It's so funny because I saw this graphic the other day where they put all the Copa semifinalists and the Euro semifinalists, and it's like, oh my God, England, France, Spain, Netherlands, Argentina, Uruguay, Colombia, all these big footballing nations, and then just Canada. Like, this is the best use of this meme. What is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? Literally, because they're playing in Texas and polar bear for Canada.
Oh, it's Argentina, Canada's in Texas?
Oh, I don't know. I just made that up. I think
yeah.
I
think
used
they
it.
did play. They did play one game.
Spreading misinformation just so I look better. You know.
That's your specialty.
I
the
didn't
CEO of
expect
this
someone to actually look up where they play. So
You know, I've been really impressed though with Canada's performances. Not only just how they play on the field, but the penalties they took. These were youngsters. These are people our age. I'm sorry, they're pulling up. The guy has lasers in his eyes, bombito, no problem, ice cold, and it's a goal.
and did you
amazing.
see? Did you see the ref tried talking to him? He didn't even answer back. He was so laser focused in.
So dialed in, laser focused, literally.
Pun intended. Laser focused.
Yeah, we got that,
Heavy
Barbara.
pun. Listen, we could talk like thing about this Copa. For some reason, Canada's been like in this conversation the whole tournament, just like miss like I don't know how to say it, but like malpractice or like controversy surrounding Copa America. Somehow Canada is like in the middle of that all the time.
True.
Like with the incidents happening in the groups, but even like the lasers and stuff is just this is just like barbaric. From the Copa, like the Copa crowds, which is nothing towards the fans or anything or the fan bases. It's just more like
This is the refs, bro.
the refs
were
have
horrible.
been horrid in this game. Like I'm not saying bias, but there have been like arguments of like heavy bias in these games. Like you could look at the USA game, but even the Canada game as well. There was heavy bias against Canada as well, and somehow we prevail through. Ismael Kone finishing it off.
Quel jugador.
Quel jugador. Bring him straight to Inter, bro. After Marseille.
I think we need to make it a permanent thing to make Mexico for CONMEBOL, which is basically North American and Central American teams, play in the Copa, because it's actually made it a lot more interesting to me personally.
Like, in what way, Varvar?
I think Copa, because obviously Copa America itself can't compete with the Euros because it doesn't have as many teams. But if you start merging federations, it might actually get that interest level, in my personal opinion.
But I feel like you need the quality to get it to that level, Varvar, because really the quality outside of, let's say, an Argentina, a Uruguay, a Brazil, Colombia, Canada. Like, listen, you look at the top 5 or 6 teams in this Copa, the gap between them and everyone else is unfortunately like way too big. And
I think USA and Canada are not, and Mexico have good teams. Like, they'd be the best of the rest in the regular Copa America format.
I completely agree. I think that the USA has quality. It's just the federation itself is a disaster. And Mexico, you could look at the team itself is a decent squad, but just can't put it together. So I don't know. It's tough to say that they would go deep in these tournaments. I'm glad Canada is, but the quality between like the top 3 or 4 South American teams is just way, way too big. But somehow Canada find themselves in a semifinal of a Copa.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And on the other side, sorry, go Varvar.
I wanted to talk about the other side also. We can speak about Uruguay, Brazil also, but
Yes.
just a quick shout out to James Rodriguez. I don't know how this brother's doing this at
Quel
this
jugador.
age. This brother, I thought this brother was finished 4 years ago, and now he's dropping player of the tournament campaign at Copa America.
Colombia has been insanely good. Like, they're
Scary.
pressing, they're passing, their shots. It looks like they never stop. Like 5-0 against Panama isn't a joke. You know what I mean?
It isn't at all. And the way they got those goals, brother, like 3 goals in the first, like 25,
Yeah.
30 minutes or something like that. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but it was absolute, like, demolishing from Colombia. And I think that, again, is the quality difference between, let's say, a Panama and a Colombia.
Definitely.
Unfortunately. But, like, it lines up being a really, really good semifinal. You have Colombia versus Uruguay. And then on the other side, Argentina versus Canada, which I think all 4 teams, you could see them in a final on how they played in the Copa America. But I just want to highlight something because, listen, we are Canadian. I just want to discuss something quick about Canada. Are you guys concerned about the lack of goal scoring from this squad with the names that we have up front? I feel like it's just been like just name tags with like a Jonathan David or like a Larea up top or even Alphonso Davies you could look at. Like Canadians in this sense, like they prop up these names as if they're like
That guy.
marksmen and goal scorers, but that just has not been the case in this tournament.
Mistake me if I'm wrong, but I believe Jonathan David has more goals than Lautaro Martinez. Internationally.
That's a lie. I think we double checked that.
We need a toe. No, I'll do
I
it
remember
myself.
doing this at the barbershop.
I'll do it myself because I need to know this.
We did it at the barbershop. Lautaro has more goals for Argentina than Jonathan David has for Canada.
That's
I
fact.
promise you. I promise you. But are you talking about the tournament?
I promise you that's facts.
My Wi-Fi is horrible right
I
now.
know it's facts. Because we discussed this, brother.
Yeah,
Bro,
and I promise you he has more goals.
No, he doesn't.
VAR,
But whatever,
unfortunately,
Welto's looking that up. We can also say Brazil. What an embarrassment of a tournament they had.
This was just as bad as Italy's.
I'd argue it's worse.
this is worse, way worse.
Way worse.
Because they have the talent. They have Vinicius, they have Rodrigo, they have Paqueta.
This is supposed to be a Ballon d'Or winner on this team.
God damn, where is he?
Gone. Not there.
I called it, by the way. Flops of the tournament worked like magic. The brothers were not good. They did have some refereeing decisions that made no sense against them. I'm sorry, Endrick was getting destroyed by Araujo, but not in the good way. Not in the, like, Endrick was cooking him up. Araujo was just fouling the guy. He should have gotten a red a while ago. It was disgusting. I'm sorry. And he didn't. I don't know.
Did you see Endrick? Endrick played 90 minutes and completed 2 passes.
And one was from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't blame him because the amount of pressure that's on him has just been so immense. Like putting the issue with Brazil, you're putting all your eggs in a 17-year-old. Like this never works out. I'm sorry. It worked out with Pele. It worked out with Neymar. Let's just say, but like there's a 40-year gap in between that. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't work. And the pieces you have around them, I'm sorry, this is not the Brazil of 2002. This is not the Brazil of 98. Even 2006 you could look at, which they didn't make it to I think they got eliminated in the quarterfinal, but that team still had like players that you could be proud of to have on your national team. It's just the downfall, you could put it in the same conversation as Italy. Where does it stem from and how do you rectify it? I don't think this is an easy fix at all. This is Brazil right now is in a worse position than Italy is, in my opinion.
That's a hot take.
No, bro. When you have players like Vinicius Jr. and that quality in that team, I think it's much easier to turn it around. The issue for me is the manager. I mean, you're employing some. I'm not going to say some random from the Brazilian league because I heard of Dorival Jr. before, but Dorival Jr. is not a manager for the Seleção. It's just not. And people bring up the fact that Joga Bonito is gone and Brazil's trying to be too European-y. Although I do kind of agree. I don't think that's what's holding them back. I think it's just, I think honestly, there's that top crop of players, but then once you get down to the Brazilian league level players, it is a massive fall off.
It's something that honestly needs to be discussed more in depth, I think, because you could go through the leagues, you could go through the grassroots. Like, is the game being lost earlier on in a player's career? Are they sifting out that Joga Bonito from a younger age? Like, that's something that could be discussed. But at the end of the day, Brazil is out of the Copa America. So better luck next time, and we're gonna hope for a better World Cup because listen, they're a 5-time World Cup champion. They have the most World Cups in the world. Like, you have to be one of the best teams. You have to be top 3 minimum at the very least, consistently. So we're hoping for a rejuvenation from the Brazil squad. But now listen, boys, couple transfers, some rumors, some about 85-90% there. But we could start off with the most recent. It is Xerxes to Manchester United. Varvar, the floor is yours.
Right before recording this, I mean, Fabrizio Romano just confirmed that United are going to get the deal done. They just don't know if they're going to pay them over multiple installments or if they're just going to pay the release clause right away. But he said either way, the deal is going to get done. I like it. I really like it. I think it's going to be a good signing to complement Højlund, play with Højlund, or give competition to Højlund. I don't think he's this 50 game a year striker. I think it's going to be very similar to a Roberto Firmino. I think it's going to get the best out of Rashford and Garnacho. I think that's, you're spending, Xerxes not going to get you 30, 40 goals a year, but he might add 20, 25 goals from Rashford and Garnacho. That's going to make the team a lot better.
That's what I like about him. But my question to you is, you just bought Højlund for 80 million, brother. Why are you buying another striker for 40 million? Like, what's the thinking behind that?
Which team in the world has one striker that has no backup option?
I understand, but Xerxes, the guy wants Champions League football. He wants to play more. This
He
is
told
a
you
young...
this, or you're just assuming this because he's joining Manchester United and not AC Milan?
I mean, brother, the facts show themselves. If I'm a player who's 24 years old, I just had the season of my life, I'd want a little bit of a step up. And I find going to Manchester United, you're not even playing Champions
Manchester
League.
United is not a step up from Bologna.
That's crazy work. Firms.
Listen, Bologna's in Champions League, Manchester isn't.
Bro, bro.
The facts are there.
Firms-
I'm just the
Firms,
advocate here.
That's the stupidest thing this podcast has heard yet.
Bro, just look
Hall
at the
of
facts.
Fame stupidity.
The brother isn't even going to start, according to you. So what's the point?
I said he could play with Højlund or sub for Højlund.
But, Vara, I'm sorry. You say Højlund is a good player, sure. Xerxes is going to come in. He's going to steal some minutes from this player who hasn't had a chance yet.
I'll line it up for you this way, okay? So when Michael Olise was in the championship playing for Reading, okay? He was DMing this girl. And this girl asked him, "Oh, do you play in the Premier League?" He said, "No, I play for some club in the championship, but I'll be in the Premier League next year." When you talk to a girl saying I play for Manchester United hits different than saying, "Yeah, I play for Bologna."
That's crazy.
Xerxes is doing it for the girls. It's not about
I'm not
the football.
saying that, but it's just a prestige thing. Playing for Manchester United, there's only 23 people in the world that can say they play for Manchester United's first team.
And they're all shit, bro. Anthony, Garnacho. God damn, like, pick your crop, bro. Lisandro.
Bro, that's crazy because I think if you asked a girl that had no clue about football, say, where would you rather I fly you out to, Manchester or Milano? I think 85, 90% of those girls are saying, take me to Milan. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, Barbara. Unfortunately, the Man United as a club, sure, if you're talking to them British Jones, but like if you're talking about to anyone else, bro, Milano is the place to be. But I digress. I think Xerxes United is a great addition for your club. I think the fact that you guys are recruiting Serie A ballers just shows the quality of Serie A that you Prem heads have been shitting on. But that could be a discussion for another day. What would you give this this transfer overall as a rating, Barbara?
I'd give it an 8 because I don't think he's bust proof. I could still see him joining and somewhat being all right and nothing special. But I think for that price, it's an investment you have to make.
I give it 7 out of 10, which is very kind because I do think he is bust proof. Sorry, he is not bust proof, like you said, because in the Prem, he has to change his style of play. The brother is very silky. He's very creative.
Do you guys remember our game against Barcelona? How Ten Hag used Weghorst in midfield?
No,
How can I forget, brother?
Enlighten us.
I think he's going to be used very similarly to Weghorst in midfield. He's going to be used to hold up the ball, play with the midfielders. He's going to be used as we're basically going to play with some games 2 number 10s and no striker, which is actually interesting. And Ten Hag, I actually think, is going to use him like he used Dusan Tadic at Ajax.
Listen, that is rule 101 of playing a player out of position. But, I mean, if you want to play Xerxes like that, bro, be my guest.
What do you give it?
I'll go down the middle. I wouldn't say 8, I won't say 7, I'll say 7.5 because he, at the end, overall, he is a very, very good player. And my issue with him is that it's just been one season. I've seen too many players, especially from Serie A.
Your Serie A MVP, by the way, in our YouTube video. Just got to point that out.
Yeah, I understand, but as a Bologna
Actually,
player,
your personal MVP, I believe.
No, that was mine,
No.
Barbara.
Oh, okay.
But-
Well, Ferns, then the transfer should be a 10, but whatever.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that a one season like this at a mid-level club like Bologna, I don't think is enough. Like you kind of see it with Hoyland. Hoyland has that raw talent, but coming off one season at Atalanta, I just don't think is enough. And especially with such a heavy investment, I think it's a bit of a risk. But overall, he is a top player on the transfer market, so I think it's a good deal. But another Italian Dawn now is unfortunately moving to the Premier League. It is Calafiori to Arsenal. Listen, I needed this Dawn at Inter, that's all.
Just needed him in Italy, brother.
No,
fact that he-
a prem move is perfect for him.
At Arsenal, though?
At Arsenal, like a Manchester United fan saying, yeah, I'm glad a player is moving to a competitor is egregious work.
Well, no, I'm happy that, look, Arsenal, you got to give it to them. They are one of the best teams in the world at this point. They're definitely top 6 or 7. You have to minimum top 6 or 7. So to say that what we need is Italian players going out, getting coached by the best coaches, playing against the best. And I think that this does this. I don't think that a Juventus move would have done much for him.
I mean, I'm just glad he didn't go to Juve.
Same.
Because above all else, Juve merda. But Calafiori, I think we needed him to stay in Serie A. If anything, come to Inter where Inzaghi is a progressive coach. He knows how to play you in the right position in a 3-back as well. But that was just a dream that unfortunately was a little too far gone. But I think because Italy, we don't focus on that technical aspect like we've spoken about before. It's more of like a system, and this is how you're supposed to play. You make that pass. You don't try to dribble around or anything. I think that a move like this is necessary, that he gets the ability to work on his technical skills. And then when he comes to the Azzurri, you see that quality difference.
Yeah, I feel like under Arteta, that's going to be a good move. Honestly, I would give this like a 9 out of 10. He's an excellent player. I hope he doesn't play him left back, which I don't know. He's played there for Roma in the past. He's played there for Bologna a couple of times this year, but I just see him as a center back. I feel like that's his real strength.
I agree.
What do you
Okay,
think,
guys,
Barbara?
say it with me, okay? Varvar knows ball. So, okay, let's repeat it now, okay? Varvar knows ball. Did I
The
not?
connection is cutting out.
Your connection's
Varvar.
Varvar. Man,
Did
we
I
can't really
did
hear
I
you
not
right.
say that Calafiori could play left back just like Gvardiol could play left back? Bastoni and Gvardiol.
The brother did play left back at Roma.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. But I also said that he'd be perfect for a team like Arsenal to go play left back.
Listen, I don't remember this.
Listen,
but,
I don't recall. If you could pull up the tape, that's
I'm
all
giving
you,
this
brother.
transfer a 10 out of 10. If I'm being real, this is a 10 out of 10.
I'm saying this is an 8. I think it's
8.
Yeah, because brother, he was good in Serie A, and that Euro performances really put him on the map. But where was this a year ago? Where was this 2 years ago?
But the brother was in Basel in Switzerland.
You get this.
I will give it actually I'm going to switch my rating to a 9 because his injuries before Bologna were ridiculous.
The brother destroyed his knee so bad that the doctor thought that he was in a bicycle accident, like a motorcycle accident, because it was so messed up.
God damn.
Brother tore his ACL, MCL, BCL, CCL, DCL, all the CLs in his knee in one play. Like it's a bit of a risk, but clearly he's gone over that hump. I think he has the quality to continue. But listen, Calafiori to Arsenal. It's a shame he didn't stay in Italy, but we shall see how it goes. And the final transfer talk that we have is Olise to Bayern. Another Prem Don out in the Bundesliga.
Bayern, this don't really make sense to me, to be honest. Unless you're selling Leroy Sané, it don't really make sense to me. But I think he is an upgrade on Leroy Sané. I'm going to keep it real.
Like that?
That's crazy.
I think he is. I think he's a significantly better player. I think he's suited more to the modern game. I think Leroy Sané has actually fallen off, I'm not going to say a cliff since he left Manchester City, but I do not think this is anywhere near the same exact player.
His last 6 months have not been great, but there's something with Sané. He does well in the first couple of months, and then he falls off at the end of the season. I think this is a good deal. I mean, I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. I'm curious to see how a Prem player moves to Bayern and succeeds. I feel like company might help. The Bayern environment is different, but we'll see. I think it's a good deal.
I'm going to say a cool 7 out of 10 because I'm still a little unconvinced that although Elise has the quality, he's not coming from a top 5 or a top 6 Prem squad. Like, you don't know exactly how he fits in with top clubs in the world. Not saying Crystal Palace doesn't have quality. It's just the quality jump from a Crystal Palace to a Bayern may be too much, in my opinion. And especially with Company as the new coach, we don't know how they're going to line up and we don't know how they're going to end up playing. So it's a risk to say that he's going to be very good at Bayern when you don't know how Company will necessarily use him to a certain extent. So I don't know, a lot of uncertainties, but I do say 7 out of 10 because he is a quality player. And now we are to our final segment. We're at the final segment now. It is the comment review. Firms pulled up some bangers.
Well, I got one good one here. It's pretty funny. It's more of a reaction. It's not something to comment about, but Juan Carlos Flores 2664 says, "I'm taking a shot every time they say the word egregious. Wish me luck. Love the channel, boys. Keep it up from Chicago."
Egregious.
We do say that a lot. I can't lie.
It's because we use it in the right context.
It's egregious, bro.
Like
The amount of times we use egregious is egregious.
Now that's corny.
That's corny.
Now that's corny. Like this, that is egregious. It's egregious how corny it is. I think we gotta expand our vocabulary, boys, because not everything is egregious. But
Bro, that's egregious, bro.
Actually, there's one more. Somebody, Robbie Fisher, under this comment said, "Want another one? Take a shot during those draft videos for every time Millie says Don."
What a Don.
What a Don.
That is an Inter Don right there.
Robbie Fisher is a Don.
Harvey, Elliot Bonds.
What a Don.
What a Don. What an
Cheltenham
absolute
Town
Don.
legend.
Oh my God, good times. But this is a very good question, and I found it very interesting. It got 92 likes. Javier Orozco 311 says, "Since y'all are Juve fans, Man United fans, Inter fans, and Milan fans, what's one player y'all would sign from the 3 other clubs?"
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys want to rapid fire this, but
We'll rapid fire it. Don't give too much explanation because we could honestly make this like an entire video if we're being for real.
oh yeah,
Especially for me.
that would be a good cool segment.
From Milan, I would take. Do I have to take someone?
I knew he would say that.
There.
I knew it.
I would take Theo Hernandez and
Okay.
play him back up to Shaw.
Okay.
Okay,
Backup.
no. If I'm being
That's
for real,
crazy.
I would take Leao and just figure it out.
So Leo better than Rashford?
No, they could. Two legends can coexist.
On the same wing?
I don't know, bro. I'd figure it out.
Figure it out, just ball.
And then Juve, I would probably take. Now this is stinky. If we're being for real, this is
This is
stinky.
low-key stuff.
I would take Bremer probably,
I'm not. That's not far fetched, brother. It's not far
and
fetched at
then
all.
Inter. I would take Barella in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Who else? Like, bro, you could take 3 players straight from Inter, bro. Like, that's how good we are.
I'm sorry, I'm struggling to find my Inter player over here.
That is such a lie,
thinking about it.
Worms.
That's so cap.
I guess Bastoni from Inter?
I guess.
I
guess it'll fit.
I'll start him over Kier. I guess.
Kier's not playing anymore,
Maybe
brother.
Tomori, but it's a bit of a toss-up.
Yeah, I'll take Bastoni from Inter. Man United. Who is there? Kobe Mino wouldn't be a bad shout. Anybody like
Bro,
Bruno would do good in
his
Italy.
cheek, bro. Bruno.
Bruno would do good. But Bruno doesn't convince me at Milan. I'll take Bruno, fine. Juve.
Hoyland.
No, I'm not taking Hoyland. I'll take Xerxes, actually. If he goes to Man United, I'll take Xerxes. Juve, give me...
I mean, Douglas Luiz is there too.
no, I'm not going to take him.
None of you are gonna take Lisandro Martinez, which is crazy.
I thought about him, but if I'm taking
brother,
Bastoni, I'm not taking Lisandro Martinez.
He's on my list. Don't expose me like that right now, bro.
I'll take Chiesa from Juve. He's cheap.
Bro, you know I rate Licha.
Licha. Who are you taking, Millie?
So from Milan, listen, this is a Mike Maignan situation
Really?
because Jan Sommer's got maybe a less than a quarter tank of gas left in that career. So gotta get a replacement for him, Maignan.
Bro, you're not taking Theo Hernandez over DiMarco?
Embarrassing.
Bro, I'm not replacing an Interista with a Milan rat. Sorry.
That's the whole point of this.
No, can't do that. As much as I rate Teo, which I don't, not taking him.
Egregious work. He's a don.
United, honestly, look, I would take Højlund. Not gonna lie. I don't know who else I would
Millie,
take.
that's a terrible opinion.
Maybe like a Bruno Fernandes, like to replace Mkhitaryan. So it's like a Bruno, Çalhanoğlu, Barella midfield. Would be pretty sick. I think
So who's defending?
I might
there?
do that.
If Millie, if you take Højlund, who would start like Lautaro, Thuram, Højlund?
No, it's Lautaro Højlund, definitely.
So Thuram is shit. Okay, got it.
Well, no, it's more like Thuram is a very, very good player. I'm just saying Højlund.
Gets
I like
replaced by a 20-year-old.
Yeah, but I'm going to take Bruno. I'm going to take Bruno Fernandes so I don't have to get into this conversation with you guys. I think it's easier to replace a 36-year-old midfielder than Thuram. But from Juve,
Do I have to?
do I have to? I actually have no clue. I'm going to be so honest. I have no clue.
Vlahovic, no.
Vlau shit?
If you're taking Højlund, you're not going to take Vlaho shit.
Well, no, I took Bruno.
Douglas
Oh,
Luiz?
No. Look,
Oh,
yeah, I might be on that Bremer wave, bro, because a Cherby as a center back might be an issue.
Cambiaso?
No.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I got Denzel Dumfries. I'm good.
Levels.
We got Jalen McDaniels.
Yeah, we got Jalen McDaniels.
You got KD? We got Jalen McDaniels. So I'm probably gonna go with Bremer as my center back.
Stinky.
I don't think that's
Not bad.
sticky at all. I don't think that. But listen, boys. Unfortunately, those are dream scenarios. We can only dream. But we are at the end of the podcast. Varvar, we are so happy that we were able to figure this out. It was a little trial and error there, but we got you on the pod. We were able to make this work. I think if it was just me and Firms on this pod, we would have just transcended our way to a Milan
Milan
versus
Inter.
Inter argument.
And it would have been a bloodbath.
Would have been terrible. So we're glad that you stayed up. I know it's late there, Varvar. So
It's
rest
2 a.m.
easy.
God damn.
2
Time to
a.m.
sleep, brother.
Munich time. Yeah.
Listen-
but
listen.
look, this is what I do for the pod. This is what I do for the channel.
Comment Varvar is the GOAT in the comments.
Just and say it in German. I don't know what goat is in German, but say it in German.
Guten Tag.
But listen,
No, that's hello. Danke is thank you. I'm picking up a bit of
danke.
German.
Okay, I see you, Varvar.
listen. We'll practice when you get back, Varvar. But we're hoping for a safe and entertaining trip. Varvar is gonna have some content cooking up, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And as always, thank you so much for the support. We will see you on the next episode.
And make sure to leave some comments because we read all of them. We read all of them.
Yes, sir.
You got that.
Peace out.
Ciao.